Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Tuesday, July 9 recap. Drew kisses Nina after pact with Willow. Maxie stops Cody's escape. General Hospital, spoilers recap for Tuesday, July 9. Reveals that Cody Josh Kelly, confirmed he lied about the DNA results and tried to offer an explanation. But Max Scorpio, John G. York, was furious and could no longer trust Cody at all. After Max stumped off, Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, showed up looking for something James West, Gary James Fuller, left behind, so Cody came clean to her too. Maxie suggested Mac just needed time to cool off and played up the fact that Cody was basically her sibling now. Once Maxie reflected on her own mistakes, she made Cody promise that he wouldn't pack up and leave town. Back with Mac, he told Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner, that Cody was his son after all. Felicia argued that she did her own DNA test, but Mac assumed Cody must have found a way to alter the results. Mac ranted about Cody's deception and assumed he was working some angle by coming clean now. Outside the Quartermain boathouse, Giovanni Mazza, told Trina Robinson, Tabiana and Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, about the 4th of July block parties that he enjoyed in Bensonhurst. Gio also revealed that since his mom came from Italy, she taught him to never taking being a U.S. citizen for granted. Trina seemed moved over the fact that Independence Day had real meaning for Gio. After watching fireworks together, Gio talked about missing home yet needing a change. Jocelyn, Trina, and Gio all shared a toast as they celebrated new friendships. Inside the Quartermain mansion, Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, made a prediction about Heather Weber, Allie Mills, killing again if she got out of prison. Portia couldn't just wait around and let Laura Collins, Jeannie Francis, admit she was wrong after Trina was targeted. After Portia acted like Laura was using her power to help a family member, Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Hurst, showed up. Portia assumed Liz would take Laura's side and became even angrier. Portia threatened to go public with their next confrontation if Laura kept pursuing this freedom angle for Heather. Once Portia stormed out, Liz reflected on her situation with Franco Baldwin, Roger Howarth, and how his victims weren't willing to see the changes in him or offer forgiveness. Laura appreciated it when Liz saw her perspective about seeking justice and letting the courts decide what was right. In the kitchen on Tuesday's GH episode, Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, agreed with Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, about doing what was best for Aurora and trying to get along with Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watras. Michael also assured Nina that he was on board with whatever Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, decided about her relationship with her mother. Meanwhile, Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson, scampered away after witnessing Willow and Drew Quartermain's, Cameron Matheson, kiss. Once Drew and Willow pulled apart, she panicked over kissing Michael's uncle when she was happily married. Willow and Drew were both apologetic over what happened, but Drew acted like it was a random impulse. That led to Willow admitting that maybe it wasn't so random, so Drew got honest and suggested there could have been something between them if they'd met under different circumstances. Nevertheless, Drew acknowledged that he met Willow when she was already in love with Michael, so there was no point in considering other realities. After Drew acted like they just got swept up in the moment, Willow decided it wasn't the end of the world and agreed with him when he said it would never happen again. Drew insisted they were on the same page right as Michael, Nina, and Curtis walked in with updates on the new truce. Once Drew pretended he was talking politics with Willow, they got the good news about Curtis helping Nina and Michael reach an agreement. Portia popped up moments later, demanding that Curtis take her home, but she paused to warn Drew that he'd need to keep Heather Weber in prison to get her vote. On their way toward the door, Portia ranted to Curtis about Heather's case, but he suggested they had to let the courts decide her fate. Although Portia lashed out over Curtis' point of view, she eventually calmed down since he wasn't the one she was truly mad at. After Willow voiced her approval over Michael and Nina's work truce, she shared a sweet moment outside with her husband. Sasha flashed back to Willow's earlier kiss with Drew and watched her make out with Michael next. Back with Nina, she was on cloud nine since things were going so well with Willow, so she praised Drew and pulled him into a kiss. Drew seemed a bit uncomfortable, but he kissed Nina back anyway. General Hospital spoilers say Drew's making quite a mess, so stay tuned to see all the mayhem that's looming. Port Charles had seen its fair share of tumultuous days, but today was about to redefine chaos. The sun had barely crested the horizon when Drew Kane found himself standing at the docks, his mind racing with thoughts of Nina Reeves. They had always shared an unspoken connection, a silent understanding that often pulled them together in the most unexpected ways. Today, that connection was about to ignite into something neither had anticipated. At the same time, across town, Willow Tate was wrestling with her own demons. The pact she had made with Drew weighed heavily on her heart. It wasn't just about the promise, it was about the implications. She had agreed to help Drew navigate his complicated feelings for Nina, but in return, he had to ensure that her secret about Wiley remained varied. The weight of the pact pressed down on her, making every breath feel like a battle. Willow's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of her phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. It was Drew. "Willow, we need to talk. Can you meet me at the pier in an hour?" His voice was steady, but she could hear the underlying tension. She agreed, knowing that their conversation would set the tone for the day ahead. Meanwhile, at Crimson, Nina was immersed in her work, trying to drown out the noise of her chaotic life. The office was her sanctuary, a place where she could control the narrative. But even here, thoughts of Drew intruded, making it hard to focus. Her reverie was broken by the sudden appearance of Maxie Jones, who burst into the office with a look of determination. "Nina, we need to talk about Cody," Maxie began, not bothering with pleasantries. Nina looked up, startled. "What about him?" "He's planning to leave town," Maxie said, her eyes wide with urgency. "I think he's in trouble, and I need your help to stop him." Nina sighed, rubbing her temples. "Maxie, I'm dealing with a lot right now. Can't you handle this on your own?" Maxie shook her head. "No, Nina. You're the only one he'll listen to. Please come with me." Reluctantly, Nina agreed. As they made their way to the stables where Cody often sought refuge, Drew arrived at the pier, his heart pounding with anticipation. Willow was already there, her eyes reflecting the same anxiety he felt. "We need to talk," Drew said, his voice low. "About Nina." Willow nodded. "I know. I've been thinking about it too. We can't let our pact ruin everything. If you care about her, you need to tell her." Drew took a deep breath. "You're right. I can't keep running from this. I'm going to tell her how I feel." Willow smiled, relieved. "Good. And remember, whatever happens, we're in this together." With that, Drew headed towards Crimson, determined to confront his feelings head-on. As he walked through the busy streets of Port Charles, his mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. What would he say to Nina? How would she react? The uncertainty gnawed at him, but he knew he couldn't turn back now. At the stables, Maxie and Nina found Cody frantically packing his belongings. "Cody, what are you doing?" Maxie demanded, grabbing his arm. "I have to leave, Maxie," Cody replied, his voice trembling. "It's too dangerous here." Nina stepped forward, her eyes locking with Cody's. "What's going on, Cody? Why are you running?" Cody hesitated, his gaze flickering between Maxie and Nina. "There are people after me. Dangerous people. I can't stay here and put everyone at risk." Nina's expression softened. We can help you, Cody. You don't have to do this alone. Maxie nodded in agreement. We're your friends, Cody. Let us help you. Cody looked at them, his eyes filled with gratitude. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. As they helped Cody unpack his belongings, Drew arrived at Crimson, only to find the office empty. Panic set in as he realized Nina wasn't there. He quickly called Willow, who suggested he check the stables, knowing that Maxie had mentioned something about Cody earlier. Rushing to the stables, Drew found Nina, Maxie, and Cody deep in conversation. He watched from a distance, his heart swelling with admiration for Nina's compassion and strength. When their eyes finally met, he knew it was time to speak his truth. Nina, Drew called out, stepping forward. Can we talk? Nina nodded, excusing herself from the conversation with Cody and Maxie. As they walked a few steps away, Drew took a deep breath. I need to tell you something. Something I should have said a long time ago. Nina looked at him, her eyes filled with curiosity and apprehension. What is it, Drew? He took her hands in his, the warmth of her touch giving him the courage he needed. I care about you, Nina, more than I've ever cared about anyone. And I can't keep hiding it. I need you to know how I feel. Nina's breath caught in her throat. Drew,